And otherwise, it's just it's always going to be so much more variance and so much harder for us sports bettors and even fans to enjoy, the game. If I was a Saints fan today, I'll tell you what, man. I'd be saying that I'm not going to watch a Super Bowl, but I probably would watch it anyway. But it feels like somebody stabbed you in the back, and absolutely robbed you. And the fact that sports betting is legal in many places, I think the NFL has got some contract issues right there, with themselves. They inadvertently fix the game by their incompetence. All right, enough of my rambling and complaining. Let's get into an early play and some early thoughts about Super Bowl 53. You have the LA Rams versus the New England Patriots. Patriots laying now 2 points. It was at a pick'em for the look-ahead line. Then everyone saw what the Patriots did to the Chiefs. It kind of moved up to 1.5, then 2. And the over-under is at 58, partially because of what we saw in the fourth quarter. So, running the exact raw numbers, I had the Patriots winning this game 24 to 23.5. Might as well just throw that out there right away and just start with that. Now, what I'm about to say, I've always thought this, and I still do. And I might be wrong, right? But against the Patriots, I'm not sure if I am. Maybe every other team, I might be wrong about this. But if you take the lead over the Patriots and give them over 45 seconds when you're up by 4 to 6.5 points, or even 3, you're in dead water. Okay? I know it's crazy to think Reed should not have played and scored that touchdown so fast and tried to slow it down and play weird, which is completely against what you've been doing for your whole life in sports, in football, or in anything. You always want to score as fast as possible. But I feel doing that gamble is only correct when you're playing against this dynasty of a Patriots team and against Tom Brady. And also doesn't really help the fact that Kansas City's defense is one of the worst in the entire league. Thank God they scored as well and pushed it to overtime, but the coin flip is what really, did them in. So as you can see here, I have the Patriots favored by a half point. The spread's 2. Well, is the Rams going to score the last touchdown with 45 seconds or less left? I don't know. I don't know what McVay is going to do, and I don't know what he can do in that situation. These teams are very, very well coached, obviously, and they're amazing. Okay, their average yards per game. Let's start with the Rams. You have 421 yards per game. The Patriots is at 407. But you also know the Patriots didn't even really try until late October, early November. Plus, their road record was like whatever. They're a little bit better than that. The Rams on defense allowed 352 yards per game, had a very hard schedule, and the Patriots had an easier schedule, allowing 354 yards per game. Pretty much a push in that, right? Yards per point. The Rams takes 13 yards to score a point, takes the Patriots 14.2 yards to score a point. Pretty close, favorite to the Rams, but on opponent, the Rams takes the opposite team they're playing 14.8 yards to score a point, and it takes the team the Patriots playing 16.6. Okay, so the Patriots defense is a little bit better, yet they've had an easier schedule. Very hard, but looking at these teams, you just got to see that they all have extremely good weapons. Now, another thing the Rams did have over the Saints, they had more weapons. Saints had their tight end out. They had one of their defensive tackles out. You can see that Ted Ginn was not in sync with Breeze. And then you have all these talented receivers, Higbee, Woods, players that are just extremely seasoned on the Rams. Gurley, C.J. Anderson running the ball. It's kind of like the Patriots they have with Edelman, Hogan, Gronk. Both these teams have just a ton of weapons right there, which I'm really excited about the prop market, by the way. We'll get into that a little bit more either on the next podcast or the podcast after that. But looking at this, crunching the raw numbers here, that's how I got to Patriots 24, the Rams 23.5. Now, you can see this is definitely under the total of 58 from a pure numbers perspective. I guess if you're looking at some of the history, that's kind of where I have a strategy to try to bet this total here. Okay. And if you look at the last 10 years, you had in 2009, there was 23 points scored in the fourth quarter. 2010, 15 points scored in the fourth quarter. 2011, 18. 2012, only 6. That was that Pats-Giants game, low scoring, a lot of defense. 2013, there was 14 points in the fourth. 2014, 7. That was that Seahawks blowout against Denver. 2015, 14 points. 2016 was 11 points when the Broncos and Carolina played, defensive game. 2017, 19 points scored in the fourth quarter. And 2018, 19 points scored in the fourth quarter. Okay, and those were the last two Super Bowls had the Patriots in them. So it averages 14.6 points over the last 10 years scored just in the fourth quarter, and 15.75 scored in the fourth quarter. So my strategy for this would be to take the under for the whole game, and you also might want to hedge that back in the second half and possibly double up. If it's trending like anything like the last game, 17-7 at the end of the third quarter, or 14-0 by the end of the half, you had a huge middle opportunity. But as we saw, it actually wasn't a middle. The hedge would have been the better bet because it went over the total, went into overtime. It was actually 68 points. Now, I don't expect 38 points to be scored in the fourth quarter, obviously, but I do expect, 4-down territory to happen, and I expect these teams to score more in the fourth quarter. So I think this game's going to trend under, and then you hedge back. You can either hedge for the full amount or the half, betting either the second half total of under, or actually the second half total of over, or you just live bet it and try to middle up like that. Obviously, with this strategy, the worst thing that can happen to you is a huge first half. Then you're just going to ride out the game and just hope it goes under that 58 points, which it still could. But that's why I like a smaller bet in the first half, a larger bet for the full game. At least you can possibly still hit that full game depending upon what happens late. So, this is the strategy I like. I also like the fact that you saw Belichick, they're going to run the ball a lot, and they do that because they don't want to have to, tire out their passing game, save that kind of for the end. You saw the play count was completely night and day with these teams. Let's look that stat up actually real quick. Total plays, the Patriots had 75 and the Chiefs had 53. The Patriots had the ball for 36 minutes and 9 seconds, and the Chiefs had the ball for 23 minutes and 51 seconds. You're going to see kind of the teams feeling each other out. There's going to be some nerves during the first half. They're not going to do anything stupid. And I think that this thing stays under 28 for the first half, and then you have a lot of options after that first half to hedge or possibly double up, or the score is 6-0, do nothing at all. But that's as we've seen with these officials and the teams playing each other, very offensive oriented. That's an offensive game. You don't want to screw around too long with that. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's a play I'm giving out to you under the 58 points, large, and under the 28 points for the first half, a little bit smaller. If you're getting this podcast before Monday night, I have a NCAA basketball free play. We are taking Rutgers versus Nebraska under the total of 135. Early, 66% of the bets are on the under, and 98% of the money is on the under. We have to remember that Rutgers is without their best player, Eugene Omoyui. He averages the most points per game. Rutgers is pretty incompetent when it comes to scoring. without him, they're going to score even that much less. That's why you saw that Northwestern game they played go way under the total. But Nebraska plays slow. They rank 289th in average tempo out of 353 teams. That's really slow. And Rutgers ranks 230th. Rutgers has a terrible offense. I know Nebraska is going to be looking to bounce back after that Michigan State win, but it's going to be at Rutgers. I love the total under 135. If you have any questions for us or want to debate some of those rule changes, please feel free to tweet us at The Odds Breakers. Thanks for listening, everybody. We're going to be back with some more NFL and some guests later on this week. Go get some rules.